So I'm making this video. I know it's from a long time ago. It was from game one of the NBA Finals. But the happenings in that game in regards to Rihanna were something that led me to figure out that this number 312 that I keep seeing is connected to the angel Michael. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about and you're new to this channel, check out the links I'll leave in the description. There's a link that's going to be called How to Gematria, and you will understand what I am talking about in regards to the numbers. There's a little bit more that goes with it, as we discovered that there's also a reverse method that is very significant. But if you understand what I'm talking about in the video, and that I'm going to leave in the description, you'll have a way better understanding of what I'm talking about if you start applying it for yourself, and then you can eventually move on and try to understand how the reverse method works as well. And it's very simple, you know. So anyway, I was watching game one of the NBA Finals, and when the score was 24-24, Jeff Van Gundy, he said that Rihanna just walked in front of him. You know, LeBron just made this awesome dunk, and then Jeff Van Gundy was like, kept bringing up how awesome it was that Rihanna walked in front of him. And lo and behold, the next day or later on that night, a mainstream news article even came out in regards to it. You know, they came out with a mainstream news article about Rihanna being the star of the NBA Finals game one. But what stuck out to me right away was that he said Rihanna just walked in front of me. And in Gematria, that equals 326. And this is a number that if you watch my previous videos, I'll leave a link to the Angel Gabriel video, and it's all about this number. There's a whole bunch of stuff in regards to this number that is leading me to the Jesuit anniversary and to discover more about the Jesuits and a whole lot more. So just interesting. It interested me right away that number, that equaled 326 in Gematria. And game one of the NBA Finals just so happened to be 3 months, 26 days before the Jesuit anniversary on September 27th, 6/1 to 9/27. 3 months, 26 days. Also in Gematria, Jeff Van Gundy equals 54 and also 135. And if you write out Gabriel, it equals 54. And in the reverse method, it equals 135. So he says something that is connected, a number connected to Gabriel, and then his name Gematria is even synced up with Gabriel. So I also noted that from Rihanna's birthday to game one of the NBA Finals is a span of 3 months, 12 days. And this number is a number that has been super connected to the Jesuit anniversary. It's connected to popes and whatnot. The word pope equals 312 in Gematria. Pope Francis's real name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, equals 312 as well. 2017 will also be the 477th anniversary of the Jesuits. If you write out 477, it equals 312. Francis Xavier, a Jesuit who a lot of people say Pope Francis is really named after and not St. Francis of Assisi, who also, St. Francis of Assisi is also where San Francisco gets its name from. That's where Golden State plays. But anyway, Francis Xavier also born or died, I can't remember, on December 3rd, which in most parts of the world they read it as 3/12, a lot like 312. In regards to Xavier, that's also where David West went to college, a Jesuit college. And of course, you know, he has the golden ratio tattoo on his arm. And also, if I ever make a video in regards to it about Batman dying, Adam West, I even mentioned David West. And then David West got that big technical. And I mean, not really big necessarily in regards to a game changer or anything. But it was like, what was the point of that, you know? And there is a reason and it was all by the numbers. Anyway, in regards to Rihanna too, Rihanna's birthday, February 20th, 2/20. I also noted that Pope Francis will be 81 years old, 81 days after the Jesuit anniversary this year, but 81 days is also 2 months and 20 days, reminding us of Rihanna's birthday. Rihanna's birthday, also the 51st day of the year. And remember, Cleveland equals 51, LeBron James equals 51. They play in Quicken Loans Arena. Quicken Loans equal 51. Cleveland Cavs equal 51. Last year, they won Cleveland their first sports championship in 51 years. There's so much 51 going on with it. I even talked about 2 years ago, before the Cavs won the finals, LeBron James was Prince for Halloween, and Kevin Love was Jackie Moon from the movie Semi-Pro, and then Prince ended up dying on the night of a full moon. This year, LeBron was Jerome from The Martin Show. That's all based on Channel 51 and a bunch of other stuff. And they ended up going to the White House after they won the finals last year on November 10th, which is the day that leaves 51 days in the year. So lots and lots of 51. Rihanna born on the 51st day. It's no wonder that she's there cheering for the Cleveland Cavaliers and whatnot. I also noted that Jeff Van Gundy has a whole bunch of Catholic and Jesuit school connections. His first coaching job was even at McQuaid Jesuit High School in 1985. And I also noted that his last job was at the Houston Rockets. And if you've followed my channel, there's just tons of Houston Rockets or Houston connections to my own life. Even Mike Brown, the coach or whatever before Steve Kerr came back of the Golden State Warriors, the former Cleveland Cavalier coach, but he even went to college in Mesa, Arizona, where I used to live with my cousin named Chris Houston, that's spelled like Houston. And then my cousin moved to San Diego, where the Rockets were originally from. And then Mike Brown, when he left Mesa Community College, he went to San Diego to college. Anyway, just wanted to show why I wrote the Rockets in here, because there is a space theme that is going along with this Catholic Jesuit theme that I've been following, which eventually I'm going to talk about in this video in regards to the Vatican's telescope and whatnot, the one named Lucifer. But anyway, Jeff Van Gundy, notice his birthday, January 19th. Most parts of the world, they'd write it 19/1, a lot like 191. Society of Jesus equals 191. That's what the Jesuits are. I also pointed out that Jeff Van Gundy's birthday is 114 days after the Jesuit anniversary, and LeBron James equals 114 in Gematria, and Van Gundy's birthday is 32 days before Rihanna's, and LeBron James is currently 32 years old. LeBron James, super connected to the Jesuit order as well. He was born 3 months and 3 days after the Jesuits' 444th anniversary. And the reason that is, and he was born in the year 84 as well. Jesuit equals 84. Jesus equals 444. And supposedly he died on the cross age 33. So LeBron James born 3 months, 3 days after the 444th anniversary of the Jesuits in the year 84. Super synced up. Anyway, after Jeff Van Gundy said that, it went to commercial, and right when it came back from commercial, it showed LeBron James standing here next to Kevin Durant, number 35. This was a big number in regards to a lot of stuff all season coming up to this. 35, the word Catholic equals 35, King James equals 35. There was a game on the same day that Eugene Cernan died, January 16th. Eugene Cernan, if you don't know, is the last guy to walk on the moon. And there's this big space theme that I'm talking about. And Cernan equals 35 at Gematria. But the day that he died, the Warriors and the Cavs played, and the Warriors won by 35 points. They got their 35th win. There was even a point in the game where Draymond Green supposedly hurt LeBron James. And when that happened, the Cavaliers had 35 points. Draymond Green, the 35th pick in the draft. Mike Brown, born on March 5th, 3/5. Tyronn Lue, born on May 3rd, which can be written 3/5. In regards to space and whatnot, NASA equals 35 in gematria. And then, of course, we got all the stuff in regards to Kyrie Irving saying that he believed the Earth was flat, right? And just think about the Earth being flat in regards to NASA and whatnot. Supposedly we went to the moon and everything else. And then it was Kyrie Irving because Washington Irving, the guy who the New York Knicks are named after because of a hoax that he created in the newspaper. But anyway, Washington Irving, Kyrie Irving, and he was one of the people who popularized that the Earth was flat in the 1800s and whatnot. So that's why I'm pointing out after the commercial, when Jeff Van Gundy said this about Rihanna, they showed the stat with Kevin Durant, number 35, and they show LeBron James was 3 of 5 on shooting. And you can't really see it here, but it also says he was 4 of 6 on free throws. The word Catholic in the reverse method equals 46. It also equals 35 in the other method. And then after the first quarter, the Warriors had even scored 35 points. The final score of Game 1 then ended up being 91-113. The day that Eugene Cernan died, the Cavaliers lost with 91 points as well. And the Warriors had 126 points. Eugene Cernan, his birthday was 1 month, 26 days later. It was on Pi Day, which is also Steph Curry's birthday, 314. And both of these numbers are numbers that are connected to space. Space equals 91, rockets equal 91. I think spaceship even equals 91. There's a bunch of 91 in regards to space. I think asteroid equals 91. Actually, space shuttle equals 175, which we're going to move on, but that's NASA equals that and satanic, just like Pope Francis, just like Golden State. I'll explain more. I think I talk about John Glenn later on in the post. But just know that 91 is a number that is very interesting in regards to space. It's also connected to the royal family. Queen Elizabeth II is 91 years old right now. If she dies, then her son Prince Charles will become the king. King Charles III equals 91 in gematria. And that's significant because a Cavalier is a follower of King Charles during the English Civil War. The English Civil War that was basically 3 different parts, right? We got the trilogy with these 2 teams, the 3 different parts, and the Cavaliers didn't win the war. And then King Charles was killed and his son was banished to France. Anyway, 113 is also a number significant to NASA. It was established on a date numerology of 113. I talked about a lot of this stuff in my Rockets post the day they beat the Thunder. They won with 113 points on the 113th day. And then after the game was over, Steven Adams came out wearing a NASA t-shirt and whatnot. So anyway, I also said that I didn't take a screenshot in this, but there was a point in the game where they showed Kevin Love was 3 of 12 shooting. Love equals 54, just like Gabriel and whatnot. And Draymond Green at the end of this game was 3 of 12 on field goals, the 35th pick. Draymond Green equals 71, just like Catholic. It was the 71st NBA season. So I was following all this Jesuit order stuff, and I noticed that Steve Kerr, he hadn't coached in forever, didn't know if he was going to come back and coach or whatever. I noticed that his birthday was September 27th, which is the Jesuit anniversary. So I knew he played a big part in it. You remember last year he got hurt he came back after being hurt, and He came back on January 22nd, 122. The Warriors won with 122 points. Pope Francis equals 122.